Good day and greetings from the Great Way North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to the end of week 57. Welcome back. So the timelines on these updates are a little wonky because it's the end of week 57, but it's going into week 58. So it's a little different. But for the first time in a while, I've made significant progress. I did my weigh-in this morning and I am down again. So I've noticed over the past few weeks, and this is something that we're going to get to sort of the meat and potatoes and stuff, but over the past few weeks I noticed that because I wasn't recording every day, I just sort of fell into not really a rut, but my progress slowed down significantly to a point where I actually gained last week. Not a lot, but enough for me to go and just sort of know that something is wrong. And I didn't want to just sort of dive right back into recording every single day. So last week I made a promise that by the end of this week I was going to come up with the second series because I think that it really, really helps if I have something to sort of look forward to plan on, and I need that structure. So as promised, I figured it out. Everything's all set. I'm going to be starting up the second series next week. I don't know. I think I'm going to be doing it it's pretty much weekly, the same way that I've been doing this. So this might move to like a midweek thing, or I might just do these on Saturdays so that I don't say, well, I do my weigh-in now and find out how the week went, or I still might do it Sundays, or I might do the new one on a midweek thing. But anyway, the midweek thing for the other one might be a little bit better. So I'm just sort of figuring everything else out, but I've got the entire year planned. I want to do another year of stuff. And so and then this actually sort of led into, I figured out what I wanted to do for Series 3 as well. So, because I think that part of the success that we've had wasn't just the fact that we went, well, here's our goal, and then once we reach our goal, then we're done. It was that we were constantly improving ourselves, whether it was making those little tiny changes to our diet, or adding a little bit of exercise, or just learning something. So I want to do the same sort of thing. I'm not going to do it every single day like I did the first series, because trying to find something every single day for another year, I'm just going to be repeating myself over and over and over again. Which is going to be boring for me and boring for you and boring for anybody else that decides to watch. But it's been a good week because there's throughout the week I've had cake thrown at me, I've had cookies thrown at me, I've had a whole bunch of really bad stuff thrown at me, and I haven't indulged in any of it. I did go over last night, but I was out with friends and I knew I was going to be going over. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was enough that I was like, okay, I need to be careful throughout the day. So I still went over, but even with that, I lost. And to a point where this is, when I did my weigh-in today, I'm at 223.6 or 223.4. 223 point something. It's the lowest weight I've ever been. So I'm happy. I'm back on track. I'm back to where I need to be. My sleeve keeps falling. So that sort of shows that when I have something that I can look at and sort of put my focus into and say, okay, I need to get back on track. I need to do this properly, because instead of me just going, well, I'll walk a little bit and I'm making good progress. I don't need to really do my treadmill, at 100% of what I should be doing. And constantly sitting there and going, well, I really should do something, because we're so used to doing that, just sitting there going, oh, well, I really want to get in shape, so I want to try to do that. I'm going to try to lose weight. So this is what I really should do, and just not doing it. Having that in front of me and saying, okay, I have a deadline. I need to do this by the end of the week. I need to get everything mapped out. It gives me a little bit of purpose so that I can go in and figure out what's going to happen over the next year and say, okay, this is what I want to do. So I have that goal again, the same way that I did with Series 1, which is what I'm calling it now. I could have a subtitle, like A Year of Change, Series 1, fat stuff. Anyway, but with the second series, what I want to do, and I'll do like a little intro thing for that so that they will be all divided up and everything will be fine. Everyone will know what's going on. Just having something that I can plan ahead that far and say, okay, this is where my goal is. I don't know if I'm going to reach it. I don't know if I'm going to pass it, but I think it's realistic. It's something that I think I can, something that I know I can do if I really apply myself. It's going to be a bit more exclusive than the weight loss thing, because we're starting at a level that not everyone's going to be at. With the weight loss vlog, it was a little bit different, because everyone, doesn't matter if you're 600 pounds or 200 pounds or, it doesn't matter how fat you are, it was something that we could all start doing at some point and say, all right, here's where we need to begin. We need to track our foods. We need to start cutting out shit stuff and then adding in healthy stuff. All that stuff is something that everyone can do no matter what their weight is. With this, it's a little bit different. So I'm sort of starting this off at my level where I think I am. And starting actually a little bit before where I think I could really go if I push myself. So, but I want to take it slow. I want it to be something that is attainable. I want it to be something that's practical. But I want it to be something that I can work towards, that I'll be able to see progress week by week, and I'll be able to see the improvements. And the weight loss will still come, as we keep going. So I'm going to have probably at least 2 videos a week that are going to be going up, which will be nice. And it's going to give me that structure and that focus that I need to stay on track. Because for the past 5 weeks, losing less than 5 pounds in 5 weeks, it's still losing. But that sort of progress is just like, it's really shitty. That's like half of what we were losing on a regular basis throughout the entire first series. And I don't want to get to that point where, okay, well, I'm losing less than a pound a week and then less than half a pound a week and then I'm gaining on a regular basis. Gaining last week was really, really not rough, but it was something that I knew if I didn't do something that I was just going to gain again and then again, and I don't want to start creeping up. So what I did this week, sort of gone into a little bit of a tangent there. What I did this week was I mapped everything out that I wanted to do for the second series and thought, okay, this is where I need to start. And above and beyond that, I need to get back to what I was doing on my treadmill. So not just going, well, I'll just sort of do a half-assed job. It's like, no, this is what needs to be done, so this is what I'm going to do on my treadmill. Need to be very, very careful when I'm tracking my stuff if I'm going to go over. And there were a couple of times during the week that I thought, if I have this, I'm going to go over, so I didn't have it. Not last night being excluded because I did go over. But throughout the week, there are times I'm just like, okay, I'm really hungry. I want something. And I know that we've sort of told ourselves, okay, if you're starving, have something. But it's not going to kill me. And I wanted this week to just sort of not really follow my own advice, but get to a point where I think, all right, need to get back on track properly. Here's what I need to do. And just track every tiny little thing. Pay closer attention to what I'm doing. Exercise a bit more. Try to map things out and get back on track. And I feel like I've done that. And especially now that my weight is at a low point, or well, is it all-time low or all-time high? Because I've lost, which could be at a high, it's a low, it's a good, it's at an all-time good bit thing, where this is the lowest weight I've been. So I'm content with that, and I know that I can keep progressing. It was a big loss as well. It was almost 2.5 pounds, which I don't think I'm going to be continuing doing that every single week. I think it's just because I hadn't been really doing much of anything for so long, for those 4 or 5 weeks beforehand, or 4 weeks beforehand, that paying really close attention and getting back on track just all of a sudden, not gradually going into it, that's what is accounting for that loss. And I weighed myself before I did my treadmill as well. Because before I was doing it, I was doing my treadmill and I was doing my weigh-in, but I woke up late, so I thought I'm going to weigh myself and start from there. So I'll be weighing before I do the treadmill, because there was over a pound difference between the weigh-in and my treadmill. And on Sundays, I don't even run. Or jog. I'm going to say run all the time. I just do my regular walk for 5 kilometers. And there's still a 1 pound difference in between the two of them. So, and I felt like in this case anyway, with this week where I had gone way over, I didn't want to go, no, I lost a whole bunch of weight. Because it's a bit of a cheat. So I'm going to be doing my weigh-in before I do my treadmill each week. So I know exactly where I am. And chances are I'm going to continue doing weight loss updates because I want to sort of focus on that, still showing that there is progress there. But the second series is going to be focusing a little bit. The focus will be different. It's still part of what we're trying to do, but it's at a stage where people will eventually get there and they'll be able to sort of start out that way. But we'll get into that later on because that is going to be starting, depending on when you're watching this, it may have already started. But on my calendar, it's starting on May 1st, the very first day. I wanted to have a hard deadline, and I sent this out on Instagram as well, and I thought, should I really do something? Because it's not quite done yet, but I knew that having the deadline did help sort of map the rough outline of it out. So I thought, good enough, I'm going to put it out there and say, yes, I'm starting this on May 1st. So that's what I sent out. So now I have until May 1st to get things all in order. But it's been nice because it's something a little bit new. It's something that's different. It's something that I feel I'll be able to do, and it feels like it's another step towards reaching my goal. Having the weight loss thing was great, and I still enjoy, looking back and saying, okay, I've been able to make progress with that. I still want to keep doing that. I'm still going to be doing these updates. But I don't want to just keep doing that for another year, saying, well, once a week we'll talk about this, we'll talk about that. I want to do something else. I want to improve again. So that's what the second series is going to be about. But we'll get into that. I will have a little intro explaining what's going on and all the other stuff. And even the appearance of stuff is going to be changing, which is going to be nice. It's yeah. Music is going to be staying the same because I even thought of that. I'd like change the entire thing and just have like a whole different thing going on with the music and no, I'm gonna keep all the same stuff in there, but just the focus of it. I want to have a second series where we have definite goals. I know where I want to be in a year, and then that will lead into a third series. And then after that, I don't think that I will probably do a fourth, but who knows? I might look at that and say, no, you know what? I need to do one before Series 3 and then two after Series 3, because that's one thing that this past year has taught me, is that just that constant evolution of everything that we're trying to do. This is making sense. We do evolve when we're trying to sort of map out a plan. We say, well, this is what my goal is a year from now. Well, we know we're not going to reach that, so you adjust it, and then you find that you're going a little bit faster than you thought you were, so you adjust it again. So I'm sure that this will get adjusted from time to time, but I have something mapped out right now that I think everyone's going to be able to attain once they hit that starting point. If you can do the starting point on that very first day, then we'll be able to go through and do everything throughout the entire year. So it's going to be a little bit different, but part of that as well, part of the reason why I wanted to do this is that the ongoing YouTubers that we've seen, like the progress that they're having, and they're still going and they're still doing, new things. They aren't just sitting back and posting something once a week and saying, okay, well, I didn't eat this and I didn't eat that and everything is fine. They have been continuing on. They've been evolving what they're doing. They've been improving, and I feel like I'm sort of stagnant. Sorry. And I don't want to get to that point where I'm just sort of going, I feel gross now, and then get complacent and then start hating myself again and all the other stuff. So there's been a lot of things that have sort of contributed to this, but and I mean that's part of it, but I think the big part of it is I don't want to get back to where I was. And I think the only way to do that is to keep moving forward and keep having a goal that I think that I can reach. And I like the fact that we can map these out year by year, and it should be good. Anyway, gone on way too long. So for this week, I've it's been a different kind of week because I feel like I'm getting back into something, even though I was sort of tracking stuff. Getting back into something that I should have been doing for the past 5 weeks, and you do feel that if I had been doing this for 5 weeks, I'd be farther along, and I wouldn't have, I wouldn't be, sort of stuck behind the way that I am right now. But I do feel like I'm back on track, and I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing, and with the, hopefully, new series is going to be helping with that as well. Then I think it'll be good. I think that I'll continue to lose. I'll be able to get down to my goal weight, and then we start, adapting from there. All the stuff that we need to do. So overall, it's been different. It's been a little bit difficult, but it's been easier than I thought it was going to be, and I feel better getting back into my regular routine and focusing more on this instead of just saying, well, I know I did my year, I've lost my weight, and I don't need to do anything else. I like having something that I can work towards. It makes me feel like I can't breathe at all, or can't talk. I can breathe just fine, I just can't talk. It makes me feel like I don't know how to explain it, that because I have a definite goal, I have a concrete goal in mind, and even though it's just been this 1 week, saying, okay, well, at the end of the week, I have to say, yes, this is what I figured out, this is what I'm going to be doing, and having a start date. Having something like that that's where my focus lies, so I can stay on track a little bit easier, and I find that I do need that for this weight loss. If I don't have that, as we've seen in the past month, I don't really make much progress at all. I make a little bit here and there, but overall it's just a matter of going, yeah, I've lost weight, I can relax a little bit, I can eat what I want. Haven't gotten to that point where I'm just eating whatever I want. I still, watch what I eat and stuff like that, but not as well as I should have. So I feel like I'm back on track. I feel like things are, going to be okay moving forward. We're going to have hiccups as always, but at least I have something that I can focus on a year from now and say, all right, this is where I need to be. So what do I need to do to keep on working towards that? So that's going to be helpful. So, yeah, anyway, I've made some progress this week, so I'm very pleased about that. I'm at a weight that I haven't been at since probably high school or university, or college or school beyond high school, whatever you call it. I haven't been this weight in probably a very long time. So I want to keep going and get down to, hopefully, a weight that I can say, I haven't been this weight since I was 15 years old. Yay, it'll be great. But that's a long ways away, I think. But at least now I feel like, all right, back on track. I know where I'm going, and yeah, I have a little more, the path is a little clearer, I'll put it that way. Unlike my speaking, which just seems to be random all over the place. So I'm going to end this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please vote the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video.